What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the 2019 Volkswagen Atlas. All right, guys, so starting up front, as always, this specific trim that we have is the SEL. So it doesn't have 4Motion and it doesn't have the SEL Premium tag to it. So it is going to be missing a few features, but it is the best that we had on the lot. This one is the deep black pearl with the Titan black interior. So those are the colors, that's the trim. And let's go ahead and start up front as always with the headlights. Now you've got LED headlights with LED daytime running lights, as well as LED tail lights. The fog lights are just halogen, but they do have a low speed corner illuminating feature to them. You'll also notice those parking sensors there. Now, since this is the SEL, you don't have the overhead view cam that takes advantage of the front camera and things like that, but you will still get the parking sensors there. Now, under the hood, you've got a 3.6 liter narrow angle V6, 24 miles per gallon highway, 17 miles per gallon city, with about 235 horsepower there. Now you've got a black alloy wheel there, 18-inch with all season tires. On the side mirrors, you've got blind spot monitoring. They are heated, and they do have integrated turn signals on them right there. Keyless access as usual. Up top, you've got a tilting and sliding panoramic sunroof. Moving on over to the back, like I mentioned, you do have LED tail lights there, as well as just your standard rear camera there. You'll also see the parking sensors and dual chrome exhaust tips. Now, this is the Atlas, so it has the third row, so it limits your trunk space a little bit. We go ahead and take a look. Obviously, I've got all my gear in there right now, so it's taking up a good bit of space, but you can put those seats down. Just go ahead and do that number, push those down. And with those rear seats down, you do get a bit more space. Again, like I mentioned, it does have a third row. I'm not sure I'd call it a comfortable third row, but it exists. None of these real like semi-compact SUVs really have comfortable third rows if you're over like 6 foot and maybe even like 5'11", but they do exist, so you can fit more passengers in there, or just pop them down if you're not using them and get that extended trunk space. Now you do have the hands-free easy open liftgate there. See the button there for it. You do have rear vents with its own AC system there, so you've got dual zone climate control with specific rear climate controls. So you can go ahead and adjust that to your liking in the back row, and you do have some outlets down there, some USB-A ports, as well as a 115 volt outlet. All right, now hopping inside, you'll notice just the familiar 8-inch entertainment center there with the Volkswagen infotainment system. This is their updated infotainment system with the flat design, new icons, all that good stuff. Now, since this is the SEL, you do have the navigation, which has two facets and two reasons why it's great. And why I really like Volkswagen's infotainment navigation system more so than others, but it really comes down to the digital dash as to why I like it so much. So up front here, you'll see the digital dash here. Now this is the updated version. Some Atlases may have the older version and some may have this one because they are doing a running model year change there on the dash. So the older dash, and I'll go ahead and put it here on screen so you can see, it didn't have those physical gauges on the side. It was all digital. This one now has the gas and the temperature gauges physically on the display, and then everything else around it is digital. So you can change that layout there, but really the benefit is having that full screen navigation. So if you go ahead and press this view button here, once it'll give you your gauges there, so you got your speed and what gear you're in, and then if you press it again, boom, you get that full screen navigation, which I think is fantastic. Really wish they would let you use like Apple CarPlay navigation or Waze navigation or even Google Maps navigation on that display, but unfortunately you are stuck with the built-in navigation system there. But nonetheless, there it is, boom, right in front of you. Nice full screen. Really, really love that feature. I wish every car had that. Let's move back over here briefly. This is going to have all just your standard stuff, your Bluetooth, your, let's see, your radio, your media, Sirius XM travel link, vehicle information, app connect for CarPlay and Android Auto, and traffic information, just everything that you're used to seeing. On the backup camera, just a normal backup cam there. Part of the thing that I talked about again is you're not going to have that surround vision, but you do have those parking sensors there. So if I got close to an obstacle there, you would see some colored level markers. So if you do want the overhead view cam surround vision type deal, go ahead and bump up to that SEL Premium. Now that's pretty much everything there on the display. You do have Climatronic dual zone climate control there. So you've got passenger side and driver side can have their own controls. Everything's pretty normal there. Heated seats, not ventilated here on this model. You do have a 10-way power adjustable driver's seat. As far as ports go, you're just working with one 3.5 millimeter port down there and an USB-A port and a 12-volt outlet. Now, like I mentioned earlier, no 4Motion all-wheel drive system here, just your standard 8-speed automatic transmission with Tiptronic, and you do have the push to start engine there, as well as the electronic parking brake, and then this button here that allows you to turn your parking sensors on or off to your preference. Now we've got just an 8-speaker audio system here. If you do bump up, you can get the Bender Premium audio system. Now here's something that really disappointed me about this vehicle. You're paying upwards of 44 grand for this vehicle, and you get the absolute base mirror here. No auto dimming, no rear view mirror camera to speak of, just ho-hum boring mirror. Really disappointing for the price tag. I would assume that on the SEL Premium, it would bump you up and give you that flexibility and those options, but one tick below doesn't have it. It doesn't seem right to me. All right, guys, so that is pretty much everything that I've got on this vehicle. Now, just briefly in closing, a couple things that maybe we could look forward to in 2020, or at least cross our fingers for in 2020. Now, this stuff has probably already been announced. I haven't really looked into what's potentially coming on the 2020. I know that this model is it's pretty new, so it would be strange for Volkswagen to kind of jump out of the box and really make significant changes to this car. But I think that they need to either bring everything down a notch or take everything up a notch. And I'll explain what I mean. Where the Tiguan sits in the lineup and in the market in general is really competitive. For the price that you pay, for a top tier Tiguan, it's right around that like 25 to like 30 range. Really a sweet spot, and it's really hard to find other CUVs on the market that fit into that price point with the amount of features that the Tiguan has. Now, as far as the Atlas goes, this one at the SEL sitting in the 44 to 45 range, it doesn't really have that same kind of impact, where it's not cheap enough to where it really becomes like widespread and mainstream and popular, and it's not feature rich enough to sit at that price point, if that makes any sense. So what I think that they should do, obviously this is my own opinion, but they should either bring down the price of the starting price of the Atlas and bring down the tiers as well. So make the SEL maybe more like, I don't know, like 35 to 36 for the SEL, and then maybe like 40 for the SEL Premium, or bump it up a notch, give it every bell and whistle, make it a bigger, and kind of put it in a different tier. Because right now where it sits, I just don't think it's comfortable in the market at the price point with the features that come on the middle tier trims. Now, top tier trim, not bad. I still think it's way too expensive, but that's just me. All right, guys, and that's pretty much all I have for this video. I got to get out of this heat. I'm sticking to my shirt right now. It's October 1st, and for some reason it's 99 degrees in Louisville. It's hot.
But drop a like on the video if you loved it. Tell us in the comments below. Do you have a 2019 Atlas? Are you getting one? You getting a 2020? What's your favorite feature? Let me know. Love to have a conversation about it in the comments. And hit that subscribe button if you want to be among the first to see our 2020 review, our 2020 Passat review. As soon as we get those, little spoiler, little alert, I'll let you guys know about. The Passat may be on its way out. No guarantees. It's not confirmed, but it's not being built on the new platform as all other Volkswagens are. So at least the guys I work with think that it might be on its way out, but we'll talk about that in great detail when we have a 2020 Passat on our lots. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.